In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the one-time display generator. What this will do is it'll display a page once to a particular user, and then they won't be able to get at it again for a specified time period that you would like them to not be able to access it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it with WordPress. You can also do it with any HTML page that you want. So all you have to do is have two separate pages. You need to have a page you want to display once and a page you want to send them to every other time. Okay, so let's go to my WordPress blog here. I created a page called Wait, you will only see this page once. Okay, so I'm going to copy the link location to this page. Let's put it in here and paste. Next, you go to the page to be direct to after the one-time display. Okay, let's go to all pages here. Okay, and here's my main page here. So I'm just going to copy the link location again. We'll put that in the software. Click Next. The number of days before the visitor will see the original page again. So this is what I was talking about. You can keep them away from that page for however long you want. So 365 days is the default, which is 1 year, but you can set it any time period you want in days here. Let's click Next. The name of the cookie that holds the tracking information. The way this works is it puts a cookie on the browser, and until that time expires, they won't be able to get back at it. Okay, so let's call it I'm just going to call it My Countdown. You can call it anything you want, and it's actually a good idea to make it kind of stealth under the radar. So you could give it a name like My Login Info or something like that, so people aren't likely to delete it if they go looking at their cookies. Now, not many people know about this. Okay, so that's it. That's all you have to put in here. Click Create. Then you got to tell it where you want to put it. So let's give it a folder here. Okay, so I got this folder Test OTD, Test One-Time Display that I created. Click OK. And here it is. Alright, so it's opened a folder for us, and in this folder it has the files that we're going to use, and also in the software it gave us an explanation. And it tells us what to do. So it gives you some instructions here. Now the instructions on here are for a regular HTML page. And I'm going to show you that, but first I want to show you how to do it in WordPress. Now if we go back to our folder where the files are, this is the page that was just shown there. So this is the instruction page, and this is our one-time display JavaScript code. So the first thing you're going to want to do is rename this. Now you don't have to rename it. You can leave it like that. However, if you want to have more than one of these running on a particular website, you should rename it and rename each one to a different name. Let's just leave this one because we are actually going to just use this once. So what we need to do now is upload this particular JavaScript file to the same directory on our server as our WordPress blog is, or where our HTML pages are. Okay, so if we look at here, this is on a directory called eStore on my domain name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload that particular file to the eStore directory on my domain. Okay, so here it is. There's my domain, and this is the folder that we need to upload to eStore. So let's open up FileZilla. This is a free FTP program you can download. Okay, so on the left side, this is where my computer is, and I've directed myself to the directory that was created for our files. On the right side is my server, and what you can do is put your host name in here, which is your domain name, and then the username and password for your hosting account. And then we need to go to the directory called eStore. Here it is. Okay, so all we need to do now is upload this one-time display.js up there. or if you renamed it, whatever it is. Okay, so that's up there now. That's all we need to do on this end. Now, what we're going to want to do is add a couple of plugins on WordPress. We're going to want to add a plugin to hide things from the sidebars, because we don't want the wait, you will only see this page once, to show up in the menu on the sidebar. If we were to go look at this right now, see, here it is here. Wait, you only see this thing page once, and thanks main page. We wouldn't want either of those showing up in the menu. So what we do is we go to plugins and add new. And then we want one called WP Hide Post. Okay, WP Hide Post. I'll install. And then activate. Now, if we go, well, let's install one more first. We're going to add another one. And we're going to install one called Headspace. This one allows us to run JavaScript within WordPress. Here it is, Headspace 2 SEO. Install that one. And then activate. Okay, now we want to go back to our pages and all pages. And now we want to hide these pages. So we're going to hide the one-time display page. And now when we roll down, you'll see page visibility. We want to hide everywhere and uncheck keep in search results, because we don't want it shown in the search results, and update. And then we want to do the same thing for the thank you page. Okay, now we're actually are going to go and set up Headspace now. We probably should have done that first, because there's one more thing we're going to need to put in each of these pages. So let's go down to Settings and then to Headspace. Now, what we want to do is go to Page Modules here. And then what we want to do is grab MetaRobots and just pull it up here. And make sure JavaScript is also under Advanced. If it isn't, you can find it down here and you can pull it up. So what you want to make sure is that under Advanced you have JavaScript and MetaRobots. Alright, so let's go back to our pages once more. All pages. And then we're going to go into first our one-time offer page. This is the page that needs to run the JavaScript. So let's go down to Headspace and Advanced. Okay, where it says JavaScript here, we want to put in the name of our JavaScript program, which is OneTimeDisplay.js. It'll always end in .js. So OneTimeDisplay.js. Now, if you renamed it, of course, you need to put the name of it in here. Now, see here, MetaRobots. Check all of these. This will keep the search engines off of this page. Okay, and now we're going to update. Okay, and then let's go back to all pages again. And we also want to go into the thank you page and make sure that the MetaRobots can't come in here either. We only want the JavaScript on the page that we only want to show once, which is our one-time display page. Okay, so click all of these. That'll keep the search engines out and keep it invisible. Okay, let's go back to our main site here. And you'll see now that the two pages are now hidden. Okay, so let's go and have a look at our one-time display page. Now, the reason you might have these, if you're not sure, is if you have just sold somebody something, you can send them to your one-time display page for a one-time offer. When they get there, you can tell them they're only going to see the page once, give them an offer to buy an upgrade or something related, and put a buy button on it. If they purchase it, then of course you can send them off to a different download page. If they don't, then you're going to have a link there that sends them off to the regular download page. Okay, so here we go. We'll view this page. Now, you will only see this page once, blah, 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 and a no thanks link. This is standard procedure on a one-time display or one-time offer page. You need to give them a clear way to get out. Don't be playing games there. So if they purchase, fine. If they don't, they go back to the thank you page and they go ahead and download. Okay, now if we go back here again, let's go back to the dashboard. And let's go to Pages, All Pages. Now watch what happens when we run it again. You see, it bypassed it. So that's what the one-time display is for, to be able to bypass a page. Now you can use this for a one-time offer, but you can also use this as a one-time display to show them something at the front end of a process. For instance, you want to display them a disclaimer or an opt-in box or whatever you want the first time they enter a page. That's how you can use this. Okay, so that's how you do it with WordPress. Now for a normal HTML page, it's a little bit different, but not much. Let's go into that now. Okay, now let's go over this procedure using regular HTML files. Now I created an index page, which is the home page you always go to when you go to a directory. And I created a main offer, which is the page you want to go to when the index is bypassed. So the index is going to get the code that only gets it once. Now on the server side, let's create a folder called testing -124. Okay, so let's go to testing 1234. Let's upload index and main offer. Now we are going to be regenerating the one-time display for our new URLs. Remember, this one specifically was fed the URLs to our WordPress blog. So let's open up the software again. Okay, so here's what the page looks like in the browser. And here is the page we want to display only once. So let's go to our software. And this is the one-time display location URL. So put that in there. And the URL of the page to be directed to after the one-time display. Okay, so this is the page for the main offer, with thanks spelled incorrectly. However, this is the URL. So back to our software. And we'll paste that into here. Click Next. Again, a number of days. Let's leave it at 1 year. And our cookie name, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Again, we'll find our folder and put it in there. So test OTD, we'll put it in there. Okay, so now we have our new one-time display JavaScript in here. So let's upload that. And we now have our 3 files in here. We have our index page, which is the page that it automatically comes to, but it's going to bypass on every subsequent return. The main offer, where it's going to go on every subsequent return, and the one-time display JavaScript. Okay, back to the instruction now. It says on your one-time display page at, and it gives you the whole page, that's our index.html page, add the following line of code just under the head tag at the top. So all we do now is copy this and Control C. Hold down the Control key and press the letter C. Now, we would go and add this to the heading section. You can do this two ways. You can do it in the browser. If we go here, this is the Composer browser. We can go to Source, and then we can paste it right here underneath the head tag and then re-upload it. Or we can go and do it directly. This is FileZilla, and if we right click on here, we can do a view and edit, and it brings up the page for us, and then we can paste this right here. So we do an edit and paste. There it is there. Now let's save and close. You'll see here it says finish editing and delete local file. Click yes and OK, and it'll re-upload that. Okay, so at this point we have our main site all ready to go. We have the one-time display JavaScript up here and our two pages. Now let's load up our page into our browser again. Let's go over to our browser. Okay, so I've loaded up the first page. Let's go no thanks. That takes me here. Now let's try and load up the main page again. And it just bypassed it and took us right to here. Let me show you again. So index. And you see it bypassed it because the cookie's placed there. Okay, so that's how you use the one-time display software to display a page one time for each user for a specified period of time.